You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again, and man, today we have another awesome show for y'all. Today we have a special guest, a music artist. Man, she's doing big things. She has a recent release, Are You Clapping single, that we're going to learn all about that song. And first and foremost, we're going to learn about our guest today. Her name is Taydem Shoesmith. And man, I just want to welcome you to the show. So how are you doing?
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing good. How are you?
All is well. All is well. So let's kind of start off first about your music career. Before we talk about your recent song, Are You Clapping, kind of give us a little background on what inspired you to pursue this career.
I never really thought I would go down the path of music. I mean, I've always loved singing. In the last 5 years or so, I started writing music. So I guess it's just gradually turned into from a hobby to wanting it to be what my life revolves around, because it's something that I really love. And this last year, I started working more on music, and I'm like, I think I might actually want to try doing this for real. But yeah.
So you're very recent. So was your project that you released, Are You Clapping, is that your very first official song release?
It is, yeah. That's my very first professional studio-made song, yeah.
Man, congratulations, man, because I noticed in your bio, you say you fell in love at a young age with music, and you also started writing. Was it your freshman year in high school? Was it writing, or were you just involved in some kind of music activity?
Yeah, I started writing music around my freshman year, yeah.
That's awesome. So at that point then, did you have any friends that were also in the music scene too, or was it a family thing? Did your family help you get involved with music activity?
I didn't really have any friends in the music industry. My family's definitely not in the music industry as well. They just are very supportive, and they wanted to help me find a way to get started in the industry, which I was super thankful about. My mom is my biggest fan, and I'm always thankful for her support. So yeah, just kind of figuring out things as we go.
So kind of tell us, you kind of alluded to earlier about your first project done professionally at, recording studio. Kind of take us back to your experience then. What inspired you to get inside the studio and kind of take a crack at this?
Thinking back, it was really scary for me because I've only worked on music by myself, and obviously it wasn't professional either, so there's less weight and pressure to it. So I was really nervous going there, but it was great people that I worked with. I was really happy with Forte Studios, who I worked with, and it was a learning experience for sure. I messed up a lot. There's a lot of things to learn, and just the idea of trying to express your thought about a song to someone else was new to me too, and that was probably one of the most difficult things. It's what direction I want to go with the song, what kind of sound, what kind of vibe. Yeah, there's a lot to it, but it's fun.
And you have some idols, if you will, music stars that influence your taste in music. I mean, kind of share with the audience your diverse, inspiration, because I saw the list. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of different types of artists that I've listened to growing up. I grew up listening to Michael Jackson all the time. He's a big influence. I really also like jazz, so Billie Holiday is one of my favorites, and recent people are more like Sabrina Carpenter, Camila Cabello. Yeah, I just have a mix of in there, all types of music. And I also grew up listening to Rascal Flatts a lot, which I'm not much of a country girl now, but they were one of my favorites too.
Now, which song from Rascal Flatts did you, take on that was catchy for you?
Oh, I want to say Mayberry.
Okay.
That's the song me and my dad used to sing together all the time.
ones in that group I got to interview like years ago. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I'm still pinching myself. I don't believe it. I have to listen to the interview just to make sure that I actually did it and wasn't someone else. But
yeah.
the reason why I say that is because it's always like rewarding to like meet people that you look up to. So for you, I mean, you're still freshly new to this, but have you been able to have like teachers or engineers or some kind of form of mentor to help guide you through the process and your launching of your career?
Honestly, not really. I think working with the two guys in the studio was probably the most training and the most learning I've gotten, like professionally, I guess. Otherwise, I've kind of just been doing it mostly on my own, other than if you count like a chorus teacher back in high school. But that's about it for right now, anyway.
And excuse me, my voice cracking. And when when you look at the process of just being an artist, like were you on YouTube University and looking at video tutorials and all that, or were you just kind of like low key writing and letting it come to you naturally?
I think it was more kind of natural because I really started I started writing music as like an outlet for me, kind of my sort of therapy. Because I have a lot of anxiety and I was dealing with quite a bit of depression in high school. So it started off as that and it just continued to grow into this.
So kind of touch on that with the audience because I think that could be relatable to a lot of people. How did you use music to cope with what you were going through?
I think writing it down, it like makes you feel it more and it puts into perspective, I guess. And when you like go back and reread it and you talk to other people, you kind of also understand that you're not the only one going through it, which is really nice. For me, it was anyway. And like the more I wrote things down and the more I compared it to other things, I don't know, it just gradually got better and it made going through the days easier.
And speaking of that, you have a message with your song that you recently released, Are You Clapping? Kind of give us a, sneak peek of what that song is all about and the meaning.
The song's general meaning is about confidence and independence. It kind of talks about the toxicness of dating and how you kind of feel like you need to change who you are when you're talking to someone new. And, we shouldn't have to feel like we should do that because that person just should like you for who you are. And the main chorus part of Are You Clapping is kind of like asking for applause, being so confident in yourself that you're asking someone to clap for you because you deserve it. So a lot of it has to do with confidence, yeah.
And tell us about the song, music-wise and sound-wise. Is it up-tempo? Kind of explain what it is.
It's kind of like a mid-tempo dance electronic sort of genre.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And when you were writing, did you know that from the beginning that was your aim for the style of music, or did you kind of allow that once again just be a natural process of just kind of fill it out first?
Yeah, I definitely didn't think I'd go to the electronic dance genre. I feel like when I write every song, it just starts out as like an acoustic ballad. I'm like, oh, this will be a great ballad. But it usually doesn't end up being that way.
And what kind of instruments do you play, if any?
I play a little bit of piano and a little bit of trumpet. But I say a little bit very, very much because I'm not that great.
Oh, that's cool. I played the trumpet back in the day, since fifth grade. Yeah, so that's interesting. Now, I got to hear the story behind that because real quick, this is all about you, but real quick about me, my story behind playing the trumpet is the percussion section was full. So I wanted to be in the drum line, and it's like, well, since they're full, I still want to be in the band. So I chose the trumpet. Why did you choose the trumpet?
Oh, I chose the trumpet because my great aunt, who I looked up to so much, had a trumpet. And so that's the only instrument that we owned. And I thought she was so cool. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to be just like her. So that's why I chose it.
And did she give you her trumpet to you?
She did, yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
So is that an instrument that you see yourself still using in the future, maybe, and maybe one day using a song?
I would love to. I should definitely practice more if I'm going to do that. I've not played in a long time.
That's funny. But that's cool, though. So you still,
Thank you.
did she, like, give you the rights, the ownership to, like, own it, or you had to return back to her one day?
Well, she passed away a few years ago, so no, I'd say it's officially mine.
Well, that's cool. That's cool that you keeping it active. And I think when you're joining the whole music scene, it's almost, I mean, I'm not gonna speak for yourself, but it's almost like, whoa, it's a buffet line. What can I jump into? Because there's so many things you can, try, instruments, or, if you're mixing or songwriting. For you, did you want to dabble into different things like mixing and all that sound engineer stuff, or do you just stick to songwriting?
Yeah, no, I definitely want to learn more about like the mixing and producing side of it, because I think all of it is just so cool. Obviously, there's a lot to learn and it takes a lot of time, but yeah, I would love to learn that side of it too. It'd be nice to be like an all-rounder, be able to do everything.
And do you have like a official team that you have as an artist, or are you still like solo, independent, and in charge of like booking your own sessions and getting things all scheduled out? Or do you have like a mini team of people that kind of, work with you and coordinate your projects?
I'm signed with MTS Records, so he's good with like promoting and getting things set up, thankfully. That's been really nice. But like music wise, a team, I don't have an official one set or anything yet. Still figuring it out.
I mean, that's cool. That's still cool though. So tell us though the process then, when you were in studio working on your recent song or your clapping, what was that process? What did it look like? How did you meet the people in the studio, and kind of give us a little back look on that?
Well, we don't have a lot around us, so we went to the studio that was closest to us, and they gave us a little tour. I ended up working with two guys there. They're around my same age too, so it was kind of nice working with people your same age, because I kind of thought it'd be someone older that may not really understand or connect with the song. So that was really cool. Kind of less time, I guess, in my mind, because I thought it'd be a lot of having to work on it ourselves, but I think I looked out as just being the songwriter and the singer. I don't have as hard of a job and not as lengthy of a job. So I feel like I didn't do as much work on this project as it feels like it. But yeah, we just slowly worked on it, went from lyrics, got that outline, and then we figured out what kind of instruments we wanted to use, and we ended up using synths because it's electronic. So yeah, just bit by bit, figured out what direction we wanted to go, since I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted. Yeah.
What's the most valuable thing you learned so far with your experience being in studio? Because I imagine, was this kind of your first time being in studio, or were you exposed to being in studio before and just didn't record, until that project?
That was really the first studio that I had been in. I've been in kind of like a small one, but it wasn't like professional. Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway was, for me, learning is trying to communicate everything, because something that you don't think is important could end up helping along the lines of them working on it. I don't know, just trying to tell your thoughts at all time, I think, is really good, because they can't just assume what you want.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now, what was your favorite part of the whole experience? Was it the recording sessions, or listening after everything was mixed and mastered? What was your favorite part of the process?
I think it's like remembering from where it started and then seeing like the end product and listening to it. I don't know, that just feels like a really big win, because all the struggles that you went through, all of us struggling to get to that end product, and it just makes it so much sweeter once you get it done. That's kind of my favorite moment. when I heard it officially for the first time.
We're talking to our guest for today on I'm Refocus Radio, Taydem Shoesmith. And I have to say, Shoesmith is a cool last name. Is that your last name, or is it like your music name?
Yeah, that is actually my real last name. Yep.
That's a cool last name, man. So
thank you.
When you look at the project that you have released recently, I mean, are you getting back in the studio anytime soon to work on additional songs, or what does that look like for you, timeline?
Yeah, I am actually getting back into the studio this week. So something new should be coming out in the near future.
And you also are, I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, but reading your bio, it looks like you are also an aspiring actress. And if you are, kind of tell us about your debut and what that experience was like for you.
So I did my first film in, I think, 2021. I don't know how long it's been now. I want to say, yeah, it was a short film. That was kind of a big moment for me because it was horror too, which is a genre that I never thought I'd get into acting. But yeah, I started there and met a great director that way and worked with him a lot. And, one thing leads to another. We go to awards events and you meet other people there. Yeah, I've been slowly picking up new jobs here and there, and I'll be filming another short film in mid-June, which I'm hoping to write this song for, actually. So,
what location?
This new song. Oh, sorry.
No, you get. What location are we talking about? We talking about LA? Talking about New York?
It's actually in the Chicago area.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean,
thank you.
Have you been able to think about if you wanted to pursue both music and become an actress? Like, do you want to do movies, TV shows? Have you picked what area you want to do on the screen?
I haven't really picked what I want to do on screen. I really like both, so I'll take whatever jobs come to me. So I mean, I'm not going to be too picky.
You're just starting out, so you gotta be fair.
Yeah.
But you're doing it. I mean, if you weren't doing it, you wouldn't be talking to podcast shows and radio shows. So for someone that you're beginning the process, so I hope I can get you back on for when you're famous. So when you look at the opportunities ahead, what is your goal? Like, short-term wise, do you want to be in a feature film? Do you want to have a full-length album? What do you see for your future self?
I would have said the feature film, but I actually just got done filming one, so I guess I can check that off the list.
Oh shoot, look at you.
Yeah. Yeah, so probably an album would be really great. I think that's definitely on that list for sure. Now, I don't know if I can say that'd be the next thing I do, but yeah.
Now, real quick, for our audience, are you in the Chicago area? Is that where you live currently?
I don't. I actually live in the Des Moines, Iowa area.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. When you're in your community, I mean, are there other creatives out there that you collab with, or are you kind of just doing your own thing, solo dolo, or what does that look like?
Well, I live in a smaller town, so I don't live in Des Moines. So there's not a lot of artists here, so I haven't collabed much. I've met a few artists as well, on set when I'm acting, that have been possible collaborations. So maybe one of those will turn into something. But yeah, as of right now, I haven't done that. That'd be fun though.
I mean, you're new. I had to have you back on a couple months, when you get nominated for a Grammy or something. So,
oh yeah, for
you
sure.
Never know, man. You never know. So when you look at the opportunities ahead, are there anybody in the industry that you want to work with? Is there a particular engineer, producer, filmmaker that if they were to call you right now and say, hey, I need you on this project, what would you want to be doing, on your bucket list?
Ooh. That's a difficult one. I'll just say one of my favorite music artists, probably work with Sabrina Carpenter on something, that would be amazing. Yeah. There's like too many options to pick from, I think.
That's true.
There's too many greats out there, you know.
Well, if you can write any song for anybody, what would you want to, who would you want to write for?
Oh man, that's
Is that worse?
that's a great question.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like all the artists that I would want to write for would not need me at all.
I would say.
I don't know. Who would you pick?
For you?
Yeah.
Man, I mean, all right, let me see. So you got into electronic music a little bit, but are you interested in country and pop and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in different genres too.
Do you like Taylor Swift?
I do, yeah.
All right. Just trying to edge out, possibilities.
Oh, okay.
What top 3 artists would be on your list to collab with on a songwriting project? If you can choose 3 that you know for sure you want to work with, if you had the opportunity.
Oh. Well, right now, one of my current favorite people to listen to is Tate McRae.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Camila Cabello, for sure. And Chun So-yeon from G-Idol.
Okay.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
See, you're just so humble. That's what's cool. Now, last question for you. People can they can find you on social media. You have an IG account that people can follow you at tshoe23. I have to ask you, what's the number 23? Is that anything special, or is it's just a random number?
It's actually just a random number.
I was thinking about you going to say
cool
Michael Jordan or something.
Oh, sorry, what?
So I thought it was going to be something like significant like Michael Jordan, because I saw the shoe, like tshoe23. I'm like, okay, that's dope. Right?
I should have said that. I knew once you asked me that question, I'm like, I should answer it like that, but I wanted to be truthful.
Nah, you good. Well, I have to ask you, last question for sure. Are you into sports or anything, or is it just mainly like on-screen stuff and music for now?
Yeah, I can't really say I'm into sports much. I used to play a lot of sports in middle school and a little bit of high school, but yeah, I can't say that's one of my major interests.
Yeah, the cool thing about this interview is that you just keep it 100. I appreciate that. I like that. So for the young people out there who will want to make their first song, I think you gave us a really great picture of what that experience was like for you. What advice will you give someone who goes into the studio for the first time? Is there any etiquette that they should be aware of?
I'm not really in the position of giving advice, but
smart answer. See, I'm gonna have you back on. I respect.
Oh, thank you. I'd love to be back on.
Because I'd rather you say that than just create a fluffy answer.
Right.
So, I mean, with that, then we definitely gotta keep in touch, because song is dope. By the way, I listened to it before I got on the show. But
thank you.
If you had any advice for someone who just wants to pursue their dream like you are, you do have something to say there. What would you say to that person?
I would say you're definitely going to have to believe in yourself in some way and just try to be real with what you're doing, because if you try to fake it, people are going to see through that too. I don't know. I just think being real and true to yourself is the best way to go about any sort of job, whether it's in the artist industry or not.
Once again, listen on Refocus Radio, talking to our guest, Taydem Shoesmith, and check out her new song, Are You Clapping? It's on Spotify. You can go check out her on Instagram. And for those who were sitting in the back not paying attention, what's your Instagram handle?
It's at tshoe23. Shoe is SHOE.
All right. Well, hopefully we get you back on, get some updates on other projects that you're doing. And I want to say thanks again, taking time talking on Refocus Radio.
Yeah, thank you for having me.